Stephen, Pure Storage VP of R&D, Shawn Rosemarin, is boldly claiming that hard disk drives will be extinct after 2028. Now, the flash storage proponents over at Pure are making this prediction based on the fact that hard drives are a huge source of power consumption. And when you compare the device's power consumption to that of NAND flash, as well as a lot of the other advances in NAND flash, that's where they're thinking it's going to happen. This sounds familiar to you. It follows in line with some of the ESG initiatives that Pure has been discussing, including discussing with us back during Cisco Live EMEA in February. We'll link a little bit of that interview here in the show notes. Rosemarin says that Pure estimates that data centers use approximately 3% of the world's power generation, and most of that consumption comes from hard drives. So reducing those disks would lead to significant reductions in power usage on top of providing better performance, kind of like the performance that you get from NAND flash arrays that are provided by companies like Pure Storage. Stephen, should we start writing the requiem for spinning rust?
Well, I think first of all, congrats to Rosemarin for saying something that will get some attention. Yes, absolutely, that was the point of this, because this is really in line with what we've been hearing for Pure Storage for over a decade. And I think that the point here is actually quite valid, and that is that if you look at the impact, the power and cooling budget, the capacity budget of spinning hard drives, it is certainly a leveling off curve in terms of capacity for what you're putting into it. Whereas if you look at the inputs into the same curve for flash storage, it is a rising curve and rising much quicker. To the point that Pure now claims that their direct flash modules are actually more efficient overall on a per capacity basis than hard drives, and that basically puts the nail in the coffin. And I think that it's important to note here that he's not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow, that this is going to happen in the future. We're looking out at 2028, and frankly, that's not crazy. It may sound crazy to think that we might see the end of hard drives, but I'm not sure I would go that far, but I do think that we might see the end of hard drives as an exciting mainstream technology. We've already seen it in other areas. When was the last time you bought a laptop with a hard drive in it, let alone a music player or a phone? And I think that we're going to see this trend continue. One of the factors as well, this is benefiting Pure as well as others, is the adoption of new form factors for flash. After all, a hard drive, and I got this big thing in it, and you got to put that somewhere, and then you got to cool it, and it's got to spin around and around, and so on. Flash can have all sorts of different form factors, and we're seeing a lot of increasing interest in EDSFF and the proprietary form factors that Pure is using as ways of packing storage in more densely, enabling better cooling, enabling more efficiency, better footprints, and all of these things are really attractive in the data center. So I am going to say I don't agree that hard drives are going to be going out of production and no more hard drives will be sold in 2028. But I definitely do think that hard drives are going to be increasingly a niche product, and mainstream storage, every kind of storage, is going to be on flash memory. It just seems like that's the way that the industry is going. So yeah, I'm with Pure on this one.